Good morning, everybody. Welcome to EDU 600, Research Methods and Techniques. My name is Kevin Doran, and I am the instructor, the professor for this course. I've been teaching EDU 600 for quite a few years now. It's one of my favorite classes to teach. And I have to say, from a student standpoint, I hear from students all kinds of comments over the last 10 years I've been teaching this, all the way from, boy, that wasn't bad, to I wish I'd taken this class earlier in the program. So I want to welcome you to the class. In addition to this class, I coordinate the Masters in Adult and Higher Ed program. I teach education classes, adult education classes, the history, philosophy, facilitation, a whole bunch of other classes. So that's a brief background on me. I'm posting a overview of myself and an introduction to myself. When we get to, I'll show you where everything is in this class. So I want to welcome you to this class. Now, we're in a 7-week format. Oftentimes I hear people say, well, a 7-week format isn't as bad as a 14-week format. I don't know if one's better or one's worse. I will say that in the 7 weeks, we cover the same materials that we cover in 14 weeks in a traditional semester. So I know everybody in this program, the people that are in this class, are used to taking 7-week classes. Right out of the chute, I'd like to say that this is a pretty intense class, and I would encourage you to stay as much up to date as you possibly can. So let's get right to the materials. The intent of this video is twofold. First of all, for those that may be new to the program, this is your first class that you're taking, I'm going to just show you Brightspace, how the course is laid out. I try to standardize with my classes, try to standardize that with USM. And so if you've taken classes before, hopefully this feels familiar to you. But I'll walk you through a few things about Brightspace, and then we'll get to the week 1 materials. So as you can see, this is our home page. This is the home page for EDU 600. The course home takes you to the announcements that we have. It also has some materials, these tiles. It has the schedule. These pretty much are the due dates for the assignments, and you can also find those in the syllabus. Any announcement that I make will go right here. The most recent announcement plops down here. You also get a copy. You get an email of that. I don't use the course home page that much. I use the content page. Let me click on this. So here's the content page. The way that this course is set up, week 1, and I haven't made it available to everybody yet. I will on July 4th. You can see it's hidden. All that means is that you can't see it. I can see it, and it helps me be able to change, modify the materials before I make it live. You can see week 2, we have in module 1, we just have one module. Module 2, we have one module. Then in module 3, which some people like it better if you think about it in weeks, the module corresponds with the week. In module 3, we have part 1, part 2. Module 4, we have part 1, part 2, and part 3. And I go over this on a weekly basis. What I will do every week, I will put the materials. I explain a little bit about the materials. I do an overview video every week where I go through what's expected for the week and where you can find the materials. I usually augment my materials with videos, either specific YouTube videos or past videos that I've done. I also use videos that have been recorded by Jeff Beaudry. Jeff is the one of the authors of the textbook that we use. So in this case, you can see Jeff's video is here. And then I repeat the materials for anybody that wants to skip the video, but I'd encourage you to watch the video on a weekly basis. I try to keep it to 8 minutes. With this initial video, it usually goes longer, so expect today probably about 12 minutes. 12 to 15 minutes, only because there's so much material that I'd like to at least briefly cover. So when you come in here, you'll click on module number 1 and just a couple other resources that you have available. I put this is just background. You don't need to use this until later on in the course. The interpretive review assignment, I keep that in there from the get-go, only from the standpoint that you may want to look at what does the final project look like. And you can go in here. I'm going to click on that and just show you what is in here. These are all components, and we have the rubrics. We have matrix descriptors. Don't get too bogged down with this section right now. But if you want to come in here and just say, click on this one, you'll get an idea of what the final assignment looks like. Don't need to worry about that at this point. We're going to have plenty of time to ease into that. But once again, we're in a 7-week course, so things happen quickly. The final assignment, any recorded Zoom meetings that we might have, there might be in week number 3 or maybe even week number 1, probably in week number 2. I will send everybody an announcement saying, for anybody that's interested, I'm going to be online. We're going to do a Zoom meeting at 7 o'clock on Wednesday. Nothing is scheduled with that at this point. These Zoom meetings are not required. This is an asynchronous course, meaning that we are taking this course, or you're taking this course. You can access materials at any time. Have some library resources, and once again, we'll get into a little more detail. I'll click on that so you can see what's involved. So you click on that, you come up top, library study guide, methods. This really usurps you having to go out to the Glickman library to get to all of these materials. So in here you can see there's all kinds of materials. We have the library website, which you don't need to go to because you're using it. And then there's all kinds of other materials in here, including library resources, how to activate your card. There's just a lot of background information, but one of the ones I want to focus in on is this, the databases and the journals. We will be using these to locate materials as we move forward in the course. Primary source materials. Once again, I'll get into more information on that. I generally start with Academic Search Complete, but there's others. So let me go back, and once again, the intent of today is not to inundate you with all of the materials that's on the website. So I'm going to go back to the table of contents. Sorry for my slow connection. It's for whatever reason, it is slow today. Okay, so I'm going to hit content, which takes me to the materials I was just showing you. But I'm going to focus in on week number 1 and go over what exactly I'm going to be asking you to do in week number 1. Come here, click on that. Okay, so man, things are slow today. So here you go. Here's the overview. Here's the overview video that you're watching. Have a video from Jeff Beaudry, which has an overview of the course components, the progression, and the subjects. So once again, this is the video you're looking at now. This is from Jeff. I encourage you to watch Jeff's video because it really gives you an idea of what we're going to be doing. We are not going to be constructing research, but we will be, this course is really about reading analyzing, and writing about research. So the culmination of this is the final project where you collect 6 research articles and you do a critique on that. Jeff does a great introduction to how the course is formatted. We start with qualitative research, then we move to quantitative research, and then mixed methods, and then single subject, etc. So what I would like you to do this week, the specifics, they're all typed out here. I'd like you to read chapters 1, 2, and 17 in the textbook. If you don't have your textbook yet, please send me an email. You can text me at 207-837-9565. That information is in the syllabus. But if you don't have a textbook, let me know, because I can get you the PDFs, at least initially, for these chapters. I'd like you to tour the course site. Take a look at the materials that are there. I'd like you to select one of 5 abstracts on pages 15 to 19 in the textbook. And I'll show you the discussion forums. And then once you do that, these are brief. These are an abstract. An abstract is just a summary of what's in the research. You could choose whichever you want. And I want you to, what's the title of the abstract? What's the purpose of the research? Type of research? And if you don't know this, just say it. You say, I don't know. But oftentimes in those abstracts, they tell you what it is. The sample size. And the sample size is always mentioned as N, or it could just be mentioned the sample size was 52. The data collection tools, if they describe it, they may describe it, they may not. The methods used, and the results. So I don't mean this to be a dissertation. I mean this can be all done in probably 1 paragraph. You can type that. I don't want a lot of information. I just want you to give me the facts. What were the results? The results were the students that received a free breakfast in the morning by the school district, their test scores were higher. We'll get into that a little bit. And take a look at the library resources. Here's some databases that connect with the materials that we're going to be looking at. I have videos on how to search. So part of what we're doing this semester is we're going to be searching for materials on a regular basis. And then I say begin to identify a research problem or topic. What I mean by that is we build on, you will be collecting 6 articles on whatever topic might be of interest to you. And some of what people have done in the past could just, let me use my example, just say you're most interested in the effect of free school lunches on student behavior, or free breakfast and lunch, district provided food for the students, and how does that affect test scores? That might be your topic. It could be anything. I've had people look at the effect of chemotherapy on retention. And this can be a personal thing. It can be tied in with your work or your potential work, your area of interest. So I'd like you to do three discussion forums this week. Introduce yourself. Preview the final paper. So I'd like you to take a look at this. There's specific information. Write 1 question you have about the essay. So the essay is really just a preview of the final paper. You don't have to go to town on this. I'm asking for 1 question. Like, how do you know what is primary resource? We're going to get into that as we move forward. And then what I mentioned up above, select 1 of 5 abstracts. You come down here. This is where you actually put in your information. For those that have never used a discussion forum in Brightspace, which I don't know if anybody has or has not, I'll show you how to do it. You click on our class introductions. Oh, I'm at 15 minutes. I knew it was going to be long because there's a lot of materials. So tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, maybe where you are in your program, what's your major, and anything else you want to post. I will post mine, and you'll see that I put in some personal information. I also put in some professional information. I started my career. I've done pretty much every traditional degree. I started with an associate's degree. I went to a bachelor's degree in natural resource management. I got a master's in adult education, adult learning, and a doctorate in organizational leadership and adult education, adult learning. So that's my academic. I might want to put that in there. So what you do, you come in here, read what it is, click on Start a New Thread, and just say Kevin's intro. Whatever you might want to put up here, come down here, you type away. If you want, some people, including myself, I like to insert pictures. So I'm going to hit that button, come up to my computer, click on that. You choose a file. I choose a file. I won't do it right here. You choose a file, you go to your photos, your images, and then you hit upload, and that will do it. So you'll have the text, plus you'll have a picture. Some people like to put a picture. A few weeks ago, I was at the midpoint of Mount Rainier in Seattle, right outside of Seattle. Who knows? I might post a picture of Seattle, or when we were walking on the snow just a couple of weeks ago. You do all of that, and then you hit post, and that will take you out there. What I'd like with all of the discussion forums, I'd like you to do your original post, get your post done if you possibly can by Wednesday of the week. This week's a little messed up because we have 4th of July. So if the first week, if you could get your post done by Thursday, and then I'd like you to comment on at least one, maybe two students. So that's for the first week. We have 3 discussion forums in the first week. There will be more information. Let me just one more thing before I leave you. And I guess at this point, if I can keep this to under 20 minutes, that's good. I know that's an eternity for most people watching videos, but there's a lot of material. We don't meet in person, so I wanted to cover this. So where can you find the syllabus? It's right here. Click on that. It might take a minute to download. If you download this or look at it, view it, download, view as text, some of the formatting issues that you might see, and it could just be my MacBook Air, screws up the formatting a little bit. So here's my information. I do have a doctorate in education. I'm the faculty, I'm the course instructor. This is the best email to contact me on. You can call me, you can text me. If you do call me, please leave your message, or leave a message, because you're not in my phone contacts, and I get so many unwanted calls to my phone. Just leave a message and I'll call you back. I am on, especially during the 7-week courses, I'm online quite a bit. I'm online almost every day. You shoot me an email, call me, and we can talk. If you have any questions, please let me know. Here's the course dates, our required textbooks, information on the course. We are looking really at the concepts, principles, and methods of educational research. This is not a research class. This is not a math class, even though we do talk about some statistical tests. When we get into the quantitative research, this is not a math class. There will not be tests. There are assessments. So the outcomes, here are the assessments that we do. And here are all of the assignments. Participation, I'd like you to participate in the discussion forums, at least 4 of them. This gives you 20 points. article captures, critiques. These are all of them. At the end of the course, you can get 5 extra points just by giving me feedback on certain things. And then you go through, there's an awful lot of material. Here's the course schedule in week number 1. I'd like you to read chapters 1, 2, and 17. If you're traveling, you need some help, you want to know what's coming up in week 3, you can look at this and/or you can reach out to me. I am always here to help. And then there's grading, attendance policies. This is online. All kinds of information in there. So that's where the syllabus is. So I've been far too long. But like I said, the first week is there's always a lot of materials. If you have any questions, any concerns, please don't suffer by yourself. Reach out to me, because if you're questioning something, you can't find something, you need to let me know. Once in a while, I forget clicking a box and I'll tell you, do these 3 discussion forums, but you can't see them. Shoot me an email, please. Maybe it just means that there's something going on with Brightspace, but it could be that I could see it on my view, but you can't see it. I need to know that. And as I've kidded with a lot of people, the students always tell me when I've screwed up. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I mean, we have a 7-week course. We need to hit the ground running. And if you can't see something, you can't find something, let me know. That's all that I ask. So that is far too much out of me. I welcome you to this class. If you have any questions, reach out. And in the meantime, I hope when you're taking this class, you still can enjoy the beautiful summer weather that we have here in Maine. If you do want to meet with me, I live up in Topsom. We can meet. I have an office down in Gorham in Bailey Hall. But if you wanted to meet somewhere else, that would be fine. I think it's a great time to meet outside, meet at a coffee shop, whatever it might be. I'm here to help. Reach out to me, and I wish you the absolute best as we move forward with the semester. We'll see you online. Welcome to the class.